How we doing, guys? So of course the World Cup has started and we are going to take a look back on England's massive opening day win against Iran. So like I said, the World Cup has started and England are underway and they have got off to a perfect start. I say perfect. I'll get into that in a moment, but they won against Iran 6-2, and that was a very, very good performance all round. Now, when I say there's a few little things that I'm not happy about, it would be the 2 goals that were conceded. Now, the second one, I'll start with that. The very last kick of the game, the penalty, absolutely ridiculous. If that's a penalty, then the incident on Harry Maguire in the first half is also a penalty. The incident on Harry Maguire was actually more of a penalty than this one. But that didn't even go to VAR. They didn't even consider it. So this is the exact reason why football fans moan about VAR. Because of the inconsistency. And let's remember, it's not the actual technology that's the problem. It's the people operating it. Somebody in their little porter cabin, wherever they were, has sat there and said to the referee, go and have a look at that. That's a penalty. Because the referee never gave it. It was VAR that actually spoke to him and said, go and have a look. He's gone over there. And like 99% of the times this happens, and the referees don't have the balls to actually stick with their field decision, he's gone penalty. It's never a penalty. Not in a million years is that a penalty. You look at the first goal that England conceded. The one time that Iran were a threat in our defence. And that is the question mark about Harry Maguire. Now, I'm not making this video to try and, call him out or anything else and put him down, because I think that Harry Maguire overall had a really good game. He was a massive threat in the opposition area from set pieces, got an assist and everything else. And he was causing no end of problems. But his job is to defend. And the moment he was required to defend, he fell asleep. Split second. You're playing on the biggest stage in football, where the level of footballers is just right up there. You cannot fall asleep for 1 second. Not 1 second. You can't fall asleep. And he did, and they scored. So that would be my one real big disappointment for today, is the fact that we conceded 2 goals. The second one, what can you do with the decision that's made? It's just ridiculous. But the first one, that was so avoidable. And that is the question mark that will be, hanging over Harry Maguire's head. Because despite him having a good game, you'll remember that one incident where when he was supposed to do his job, he fell asleep. But listen, like I said, England also scored 6 goals. Absolutely massive. And that will send a message to the rest of the nations. They will look at that and say, because when you do get to the World Cup, there's no really easy game there. They are difficult. You get some teams that, they're not better than you and they're going to find it difficult. So they set up really deep, defensive, 5-6 mans behind the ball in a defensive shape. And it's really hard to break down at this level of football. And, we never got stuck in that kind of, situation. And we have done in previous competitions. We've struggled to break teams down that have defended and set up in the way that Iran did. But we did not today. It was very, very good. And I think a lot of that is down to the system that was played by Gareth Southgate. Now, we've all been critical of Gareth Southgate and his system. It's too defensive minded. It's too, restrictive. You're holding the flair players back and everything else. But today he went with like a 4-3-3 system, and it allowed those flair players and the creative players to just go out and have fun, to just go out and express themselves. And it's very rare that you would see an England game with 6 goals and Harry Kane is not on the score sheet. But overall, his game was absolutely fine. The assist that he gave for Raheem Sterling's goal, absolutely superb. But the main person of the day is Bukayo Saka, our very own star boy. And I know people can sit there and go, oh, it's Arsenal and it's nothing to do with that. Bukayo Saka, it doesn't surprise me anymore. You know, when I see him do things in games, I look at the first goal, what a goal. But I look at that and I don't sit there like, wow, oh my God. Like, I'm just like, it's Bukayo. I've been seeing it for 2 years. You know, I've been seeing him consistently doing this on a regular basis. Nothing surprises me anymore by what he does on the football pitch. 21 years old, World Cup debut, 2 goals to his name. You know, the second goal, how many times have we seen him do that for Arsenal? The way he picks the ball out on the edge of the area, sells a few dummies, players are sliding all over the place and he's just gliding past them. Slides it into the bottom corner. Seen it all the time. So again, it just doesn't shock me. I'm just like, that's our boy. He's one of our own. And, you know, before the game, there was talk as to whether Saka, Foden were going to play. I personally think that both of them can play in the same team together. But I think if you're going to debate over, you know, what's right, who, one or the other, then you're going to go with Saka because he's the one producing the goods. And he's a massive, massive problem for any defence. And like I said, he was absolutely superb. Another big performance, Jude Bellingham. 19 years old. Absolutely insane. And the way he just controls the midfield. Declan Rice does a lot of the, you know, the dirty work, shall we say. And it allows the likes of Jude Bellingham that freedom to go and play and express himself. And the system that Iran set up allowed him to go and play that way. It gave him the freedom to, you know, join in the box with late runs. And some of the stuff that I saw him doing was like what I'd seen him do with Dortmund in Champions League and scoring goals and everything else. It was a late run into the box with the first goal. Lovely header. In you go. Thank you very much. And he's always said that he wanted to save his first ever England goal for the big moment. You can't get no bigger than that, can you? The World Cup stage. And it's just absolutely superb. And like I said, the second goal by Saka, it's just Saka. It was a brilliant setup by Harry Maguire. The third goal, Raheem Sterling, again, another player that had question marks over him. And I think rightly so in terms of his form at Chelsea this season. It's not been great. But for England, you know, Raheem Sterling always scores. But it, you know, coincidentally as well, that was actually his first World Cup goal. Scores a lot in qualifiers, done it in the Euros and everything, but not at the World Cup. So that was a big, you know, moment for him as well to get that off his back. But that goal as well, you know, Bellingham lays it out wide, Kane picks it up. And what you notice is when strikers get into wide areas and they put balls into the box, 9 times out of 10, it's perfect. Because they know what they want. They know if they're the one in the box, what kind of cross they want. Kane literally had one glance to see who the runners were, spun his man, got a yard in front, and didn't even look. Put it in the mix. In the danger area. Raheem Sterling, thank you very much. On the volley, outside the foot, 3-0. And it was just like absolutely perfect in that respect. So I think that we were fortunate as well that Iran lost their goalkeeper early on. Really bad clash of heads. And he was a big threat with them because we've been seeing all game about, you know, his long throw. Absolutely ridiculous. And the kind of attacks that he can create and start just by throwing the ball out. So, yeah, you've got to wish him well and hope that he can make a recovery because I don't think he should have been left on the pitch. The whole concussion thing and everything that goes on in football now, the fact that he was allowed to continue and he literally dropped straight down is just, it's not a good look with everything that's going on now. So wish him well and everything, but again, that was something that, you know, fell into place in that respect. And, you know, come out the second half and the problem with, you know, being so dominant and so far ahead at half time is that you can get that kind of, okay, the game's done, let's just, you know, manage it, go through the motions, training ground kind of, you know, vibe in terms of the game, and get the job done sort of thing. But it was none of that. England was still on the front foot. They were still aggressive in the play. They were still aggressive in the press. And they were able to go and get the fourth goal. And like I said, it was Bukayo Saka. Beautiful goal. Left about 2-3 mans on their backside. Slides it in. Job done. And that's it. Can take him off. Rest him up for the next game against USA. And then what I noticed today, and I thought was really good, was the substitutions. They kept the intensity. Normally when you make loads of substitutions, the intensity levels drop and it's really difficult. But today they all came on and it was seamless in the way that they played. And, you know, within 3 touches of the ball, Marcus Rashford scores. Brilliant. Again, left the player on his backside, slides it in. And I think that's kind of, you know, reward for some of his recent performances for Manchester United. Because I think that he's looked a little bit more rejuvenated over the past, you know, few months at Manchester United. And before the season started, I thought he had to get away from Man United to get a fresh start and, you know, get out of this rut that he was in. But he looks happier again. He looks more confident, you know. And players like Rashford and like Bukayo Saka, when you think how the last tournament ended for them with them missing penalties at the Euro final, that's great. That's great for them to just, you know, banish those memories and just move forward. So, you know, great performance. And he had another chance of getting one very similar to that, which the defender blocked. And, yeah, very good cameo performance. And then you look at the 6th goal. Callum Wilson came on and it was so unselfish what he did and the way he laid it on a plate for Jack Grealish. But that says everything about the way that we're playing. He was through on goal, slight angle, but he's a striker. Would anybody have really had a go at him for taking, you know, that opportunity to shoot a goal and try and get his goal, the World Cup goal for Callum Wilson? But he went, nah, the team is more important than the individual. Lay it off. Jack's got a tap in. 6 goals. Job done. Good night. And that's it. So, listen, all in all, a very, very good performance from England. And I know, you know, people will sit there and they'll say it's Iran and everything else. Listen, they've lost 2 games in their last 25. They're not mugs. You know, they've held the likes of Senegal and whatnot. Like, they're not a poor team. They're not a poor team. They're a good side and they're dangerous. And at the end of the day, you've got to beat what's in front of you. And England have done exactly that. They've beaten what's in front of them. They've got the job done. The rest of the world will be watching and they'll go, England could be a problem. 6 goals. That's good. So very, very happy in that respect. So big test to come. Of course, we've got USA next and then Wales. So it'd be interesting to see how they get on in their game as well. But listen, you couldn't ask for a better start. You're going to be really critical. You moan about the 2 goals. The first one in particular. But overall, 6 goals. We get the points in the bag and it's job done. And it's really nice to watch England play some really nice flowing football. Really nice. So long may it continue. That's what I say. And hopefully Gareth Southgate uses that as his template and goes forward with that same style and system. So, yeah, listen, there we go. That is, you know, my review of the game. I think that was a very good performance. 6 goals. Bukayo Saka, star boy. He's one of our own. And he's man of the match for me. And yeah, listen, let me know in the comment section what you think. Let me know in the comment section if you agree or disagree with any of my points. And if there's anything I've not spoken about in relation to the game, then let me know. Let's have a discussion about it. So if you're new around here, make sure you hit the subscribe button, smash a like on this video, and I will see you lot soon. I'm out of here.